Good morning, everyone. I'm going to move my notes out of the way. I hope you're doing well. It is a beautiful, is it Thursday? It's Thursday already. Oh my gosh. So let's go ahead and go over here, invite a few people. For some reason this week I have been very tired. And I went to bed really early yesterday. I went to bed at like 10:15. I usually don't go to bed that early, but man, I don't know. It's like we've gotten a fall preview and it's like my body is like, it's fall now. You shouldn't have to be doing anything but getting ready for fall. And to be honest, I am not ready. So for those of you who are showing up, thank you so very much. Let's go ahead and share this out. Today, we're going to talk about, hey, Nicole, how you doing? Today, we're going to talk about what to do when business slows down. And it's not a matter of if it will happen. It's more of a matter of when it will happen. But how you react to it is going to be key. It's going to be key to how it all goes for you. So we're going to talk about a few things that you can do if you're noticing that business slows down. What I don't want you to do is panic, go crazy, and go spend a bunch of money trying to fix yourself, okay? That's what I don't want you to do. I want you to take some deep breaths and just follow a strategy so that you will be okay. And yesterday we talked about this a lot when it comes to the mindset, having the mindset that, you know what, how you do anything is how you do everything, and how you react to business slowing down is pretty much how you're going to react all the time. So we're going to talk about that. So I'm going to share this out on my timeline. I think something bit me. Oh my gosh. I hate when things bite me like on my neck and my chest, because then it looks like I'm just scratching myself the whole time. I know you're probably like, what in the heck am I watching this morning? I know. It's Thursday. Sorry. That's what you get. All right. So for those of you, if I am popping up in your feed, you are listening to the podcast. You have no idea what's going on. I am Phylecia Jones, budgetologist and solopreneur money management expert, and you are watching Ask the Budgetologist. Now, I come to you live every morning around 7:45 a.m. Mountain Time-ish. If you don't know where Mountain Time is, it's okay. Google it. People in Mountain Time don't know where it is. So I come to you every morning, 7:45 a.m. Mountain Time, and I answer any questions you have around business, budgeting, and solo entrepreneurship. Hey, Vanessa, how you doing? And of course, I give you tons of unsolicited advice when it comes to money. Like today, I'm going to give you some unsolicited advice when it comes to money. So hope you're ready for it. But that's what I do here, because what I want and encourage you to do and inspire you to do is to manage both sides of the budget. We have to manage the budget, and we also have to feed the budget. And all of this month, we've been talking about recessions and recession proofing your business and being ready for emergencies and when things slow down. And you're going to have to be ready for it. And that's what we're going to talk about today, so that you can manage your budget, still feed your budget, and not go like insane at the same time. So, hey, Beatrice, how are you doing this morning? And of course, I need to tell you about my beautiful friends over at Podcast Websites. Now, last week we did Podcast Week, and we talked a lot about feeding your budget through speaking, and also up-leveling your speaking career and your pitching ability by using podcasting. Now, if you want to go check them out, all you got to do is go over to keepupwithmrsjones.com/podcast websites. I'm so excited about being able to partner with them. And for those of you who do launch your podcast, seriously, let me know. I can give you some pointers on how you can use it to pitch. It's going to be so much fun. It's just going to do what the other speakers are not doing. And for those of you, if you're looking for ways to like up level how you're getting clients, podcasting is a way to do it as well. Instead of just sending cold emails, just go ahead and send them a podcast. I'm like, hey, I did a show on exactly what you're talking about. So just go ahead and listen, and then let's talk later. All right. So that's my PSA announcement. Of course, what we're talking about today, if you need to work with me at any time, all you got to do is go over to keepupwithmrsjones.com/jumpstart. I'm doing my jumpstart coaching sessions. Yes, around money and landing speaking gigs. Hey, Mr. J Hicks, Miami, the fisherman. Hey, over on Instagram. So if you need me, you know where to find me, because we're about to talk about what to do when business slows down. We've all been there. And you might be in it right now. You might be going through a business slowdown. And sometimes we have to identify what is a business slowdown. Either it's an economic slowdown, you ran out of clients. And it's not so much you ran out of clients, you reached the end of your list. Now you got to go get new clients, or you just haven't been doing the work. Now, there are a whole bunch of other reasons, but those are usually the typical ones. Either we kind of maxed out on our current clients, we just don't want to do the work, or there may be some outside effects that might be happening to us. But it really doesn't matter. It all depends on how you react to it. Now, we talked about it yesterday on yesterday's show about how you do everything. How you do anything is how you do everything. And how you handle not having business is how you will always handle not having business. If you freak out, if you panic, if you go on a spending spree, you will always do it. And your business will always go like 3 steps ahead and 2 steps backwards. Yeah, and we don't like that. So what we're going to talk about today are just a few things you can do when business slows down. Seriously, because it's going to happen to all of us. All right. So the first thing, the first thing I want you to do, hey, Joseph, how you doing? The first thing I want you to do is look at your numbers. I mean, seriously, I'm a numbers person. You're watching Ask the Budgetologist. Seriously, I'm not going to talk about numbers. I want you to look at your numbers. If you are feeling like there is a business slowdown, or if you're feeling like something's happening in the economy, or you just haven't had any clients in the last 30 to 60 days, look at your numbers. Seriously, I've given you so many different things. You can go over to keepupwithmrsjones.com/first and 15. It is a great way for you to sit down on the 1st and 15th of each month and look at your numbers. You got to look at what you've been doing for the last year, the last 3 months, the last month. And then you got to look at what you need to do. And inside of that, looking at your numbers will tell you what you need to do or what is happening. That's why I give a money perspective on everything. People will give you sales perspectives. They'll give you business coaching perspectives. But today, at this exact moment, I want you to step into those CFO shoes and just look at the numbers. If you've been noticing a steady decline over the last few months, you're going to have to figure out why has there been a steady decline. Okay. If you notice things kind of go up and down, you can probably pinpoint what you've been doing. But the first thing I want you to do is look at your numbers and see where you need to fill in the gaps. All right. The second thing, I'm taking notes at the same time. So for those of you afterwards, if you want to check out the podcast, all of these notes will be over on my website, and it's going to be some little show notes for you to kind of take apart. I'm trying to up level what I'm doing. And do show notes. That means a lot of writing. I actually have to find ink pens that work in my house. Hey, Whitaker David, how you doing this morning? All right. So we talked about looking at your numbers first. The second thing is it's time to have a little bit of self-reflection. Oh my gosh. All right. Now, I really target solo entrepreneurs, solo business coaches, consultants. All right. After you look at your numbers, let's do a little bit of self-reflection, because those numbers will kind of, if you pay attention, will tell you a little bit about yourself. And this is where we need to just have a come to Jesus moment and really ask ourselves, have we been doing the work? Ooh, I know. It's hard to have that self-reflection conversation when business is slowing down. I had to do it. I have to do it like every few months if I'm noticing something isn't working out. I have to do it. And it's time to have a self-reflection moment and just be real with yourself. Am I doing the work? Am I doing what I need to be doing? Am I doing the sales calls? Am I doing the marketing? Am I reaching out to people? Am I even serving my current customers properly? It is very hard to do that. Oh my gosh, something bit me. This is annoying the crap out of me. Sorry about that. But you got to have that self-reflection moment. Because usually outside of economic forces, when we have a slowdown in business, when we just aren't getting enough clients, we really do have to look at ourselves. We have to look at ourselves so that we'll know exactly where we are falling. And that's where we have to fill in the gaps. This is not, oh my gosh, a woe is me moment. Remember yesterday, we are not doing woe is me. It's just, okay, I need to get off my butt and do the work. So that's what I want you to do. Take a little bit of self-reflection. Don't do the self-reflection before you do the numbers, okay? There's a reason why I say do the numbers first, because The numbers are just a reality check of what's going on in your business. They are just a pure, straight up reality check. Okay. Then you do the self-reflection, because you'll have the reality check. And then it's like, okay, what did I do? What am I not doing that I can be doing just a little bit better when I look at my numbers? Because what happens with a lot of us when we don't have business, like I said yesterday, we just start panicking. We start panicking and we start, oh my gosh, I'm broken. I need a business coach. I need to do it. No. Sometimes it really is on us, and like, okay, maybe I should reach out. I'm calling one person a day. Maybe I need to call 2 people a day. Maybe I need to uptick that to 5. That's why we have to do that self-reflection. And of course, if you have any questions, please put them in the comment box. For those of you who are listening to the podcast, all you have to do is come and, DM me on some of the places on the internet. I'm kind of everywhere. Seriously, you know how to find me. In this internet age, if you don't know how to use the internet, you got issues. That's all I got to say. Hey, Nicole. That's why Nicole is saying that's why PG and D is so important. What is PG and D, Nicole? Tell me what that is. PG and D. If you throw out acronyms, you got to tell us all. Don't be secret with your acronyms, girl. All right. All right. So first thing, look at your numbers. 2, let's do a little self-reflection. All right. If you are seeing an economic downturn, after you've done your numbers, you've done a little self-reflection, and you say, okay, I'm doing everything that I'm doing that's possible. If you are feeling an economic downturn because of your business, this is where I want you to really take a look. Oh, Nicole is saying PG and D, personal growth and development. Yes. Thank you, Nicole. If you are feeling that after you've done a little bit of evaluation of your business and it might be an economic downturn, this is where I want you to look at your products. Look at your products and services. And you're going to have to ask yourself really hard questions. 1, am I selling something that people need? Or am I selling something people want every now and then? Woo, you see what I mean? There's a difference between that. There is a difference. Hey, Denise, how you doing? There is a difference between selling something that people need and something that people want every now and then. And this is going to be very specific. I mean, this is something we need to worry about all the time, but it's very specific during an economic downturn. During economic downturns, people don't give up the things that they need. People typically don't give up food. People typically don't give up driving a car or putting gas in a car. You see where I'm going? They may scale down a bit, but they still need it. People don't scale back on paying their bills. I mean, some people do, but they end up with problems afterwards. So you need to look at your products and decide if you have a product or a service that people need or a product or service that people want. And want is, and I put want in the every now and then. I want it, but I don't need it. You know what I mean? I want it. Like Denise is a therapist. She's kind of a recession-proof business because some people always need help with something. If you are a purse designer, you might be in the want category because people will want you, but they may not need you at that exact moment. So you got to have a heart-to-heart with yourself and look at your products and services and decide if they are needs or if they are wants. And I know this is a very hard one. This is a very hard one for all of us. And if what you have is a need, you might just need to readjust. You might just need to readjust what you have so that people will need it even more. Because when there's an economic downturn, okay, you might have to cut your prices a little bit, or you might have to reimagine how you are delivering your services or products. I don't want you to get rid of them. You may have to reimagine, and you don't want to give deep discounts, okay? Same thing in the want category. If you are in a want category, it's time for you to do some heavy reimagination around what you're doing. And you're going to have to get your want to as close to a need as possible. A want, get it as close to a need as possibly you can. And you're going to have to be creative. You're going to have to be creative. You'll be surprised, even in an economic downturn, people like Rolex, they still sell a bunch of watches because they'll tell you, you need this in order to get a job. You see what I mean? You're going to have to get creative, but I want you to really start looking, and we could talk about this a little bit later, but I really want you to start looking at your products and services, because you need to stay 3 steps ahead. And I'm sorry, you need to stay 10 steps ahead when it comes to your products and services, especially if the world is saying that things might about to happen. You're going to have to get 10 steps ahead so that you can start properly planning what you need to do in order to keep your products and services relevant. And that's what I'm really talking about. When things are going awry, especially in economic downturn, and I'm going to say when things are around the holidays, if you haven't planned it in, usually during the holidays or the summers, everybody has a season where people just don't buy as often. You're going to have to really figure out a way to keep your products and services relevant during that time. Okay. Got to stay relevant. Hey, Tammy, how you doing? Tammy, I know your face so much on social media. When you pop up, I don't even need to see that as Tammy down here. We're friends, girl. We're friends. All right. So for those of you who are coming in a bit late, what we're talking about is what to do when business slows down. And what I don't want you to do is get all panicky and go spend a bunch of money. That's what I don't want you to do. First, I want you to look at your numbers and kind of see what your numbers are telling you. Second, do a little bit of self-reflection on yourself and start asking yourself, am I doing the work that I need to do to get out there? Because a lot of it is just us not doing what we need to do. I've been there because I'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm not getting any business. And then I was like, all right, Phylecia, you've been sitting on your butt not doing anything. Duh. That's what happens. The third thing is, make sure your products and services are relevant. This is very important during an economic downturn or if you hit a seasonal slowdown. Make sure your products and services are relevant, and make sure and look at all of them and decide if your products are a need or if they are a want. And remember, unfortunately, wants aren't needs, needs aren't wants. Okay. Hey, Elisa. Damn it. Elisa. That just means I just talked to Alyssa. So, Elisa, how you doing this morning, Elisa? So you got to make sure your products and services are relevant. Make sure your products and services are relevant. All right, number 4. You've done all this work. You've done the self-reflection. You've looked at the numbers. Now what I need you to do is get strategic. You need to get strategic with your sales calls. I know this is something we don't all want to do. This is something we don't want to do. We don't want to face the fact that sometimes we may have to pick up that darn phone and actually go and make some money. Oh my gosh. Funny how that works. And this is not sales funnels. This is not a sales campaign. This is straight old school. We need to get some work done. Door to door, phone call to phone call, whatever you want to call it. After we've looked at the numbers, we've done the self-reflection to see if we've done enough work. We decided if our products are still relevant. Now it's time to get to work and get strategic. Yes, we're going to have to get old school and dial for some darn dollars. I know. When you are not getting business, when business is slowing down, this is where we have to go through and look at the people who said they were interested, and we need to get a final yes or no. I know it's crazy when you get to this point. Remember, when business slows down, you are not getting paid. When you are not getting paid, your bills are not getting paid. You are not getting a salary. And when you don't have a salary, people at home are getting mad because now you're pulling money out of your personal accounts to keep the business going. You see this domino effect? And I know a lot of us, I've talked to people like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do sales calls. Look, you have no money. You're gonna have to get off your butt and do something. This is where you're gonna have to be strategic. Look at your list, look at your email list, look at your phone call list, look at your networking. Every last person that has said they were slightly interested, it's time for you to pick up the phone and say, are you in or are you out? I just need to know so I can keep moving on. Now, of course, you don't have to do it that way. Don't do my sales strategy. It doesn't work, okay? But this is where we have to, the rubber meets the road. Remember, at this point, if you're having a business slowdown, you need to go ask people, like, do they want to do business with you? You always have to ask. Ask for the sale, ask for the close. If you keep going on without asking, you will never know. And I've had friends who have said, when we have that thing, we got all these business cards. Pretend these are business cards. Mine are in a different place. You know what? I'll actually give you a real thing. You meet all these people. I can't find my little business card bag, but you meet all these people, and these are all just business cards. These are all people who said, I was slightly interested, maybe interested. That's interesting. I have a friend, Tish Times. She says, these are potential clients that you never even reached out to. So it's time to do that hard, nasty, dirty work we don't want to do. You're going to have to get strategic, pick up the phone, follow up. I don't care if it's follow up, but you need to make some phone calls and dial for some dollars. Yes, keeping it real this morning. Thank you, Elisa. Thank you. You're going to have to get strategic, okay? And I know we don't want to do it, but you're going to have to. You're going to have to. I know. This is where we'll separate the big girls from the little girls when it comes to business, okay? So we got to get strategic, all right? And the last thing that you need to do if you are noticing a business slowdown, this is a great time to clean up everything. Clean up everything that you're doing. Make sure everything's in place, okay? Because what you're going to do now is wash, rinse, and repeat. I know, it's kind of crazy. I just tied that in. I just made that up right there. But no, seriously, this is where we need to kind of have a big picture view. Look at our goals again. Look at our goals, where we're trying to go. Wash, rinse, repeat. After you follow these steps, after you look at your numbers, have a little bit of self-reflection, determine if your products are still relevant, and if not, reimagine them. Get strategic and pick up the phone and do what you need to do and do all the follow-up. 5, go back to your goals, clean up everything, wash, rinse, repeat. That's what you'll need to do if you are noticing that business is slowing down, especially due to an economic downturn, a seasonal slowdown, or you've just been sitting on your butt, not doing what you need to do. Because let's just be real. Sometimes, that's why I put that self-reflection in there. Sometimes it's just not us doing what we need to do to make money, okay? Now, like I said yesterday, we've all been there. It is not a matter if business will slow down. It is a matter of when. And as a solo entrepreneur, as a solo business owner, it'll hit us very hard. It'll hit us very hard if we don't keep paying attention to this and if we don't take proper action. Improper action is panicking, freaking out, going on a sales, a shopping binge, getting into woe is me pity party mode. That's what we talked about yesterday. Because if you keep doing that every time you have a slowdown, you'll always keep doing it. You'll always keep doing it. This is where we have to get into our CEO shoes and like separate our emotions and kind of, all right, look at the numbers. Let's self-reflect to see if we've actually been doing what we need to have been doing to bring business in. 3, let's make sure our products are still very relevant. And like I said, determine if your products are needs or wants. When things are slow, when you go through all of your products, all of your services and ask yourself if this is a need or a want, and seriously, don't be cute. Like, people need good websites. Do they really need good websites? Really? I've had a crappy website for years. And I've still been able to get out there. So you got to be just straight up honest with yourself. I've been straight up honest. I know people need a budget, but also the reality is people need to want a budget. That's been a hard one for me to even pay attention to. Because it's a need in my head doesn't mean it's a need for your client. All right. So that's where we got to be sure our products are relevant. All right. Then we got to be very strategic and go dial for dollars. Do what we need to do. And 5, look at the overview of your company, clean it up, look at your goals, wash, rinse, repeat. If you instill this, if you keep this system in place, when you notice a business slowdown, I promise you'll get through it. If you go the other route and start panicking, it's not going to work out very well for you. So make sure we stay calm, put on our CEO hat, and get to work, okay? That's all I have for you today. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comment box. Of course, if you need me for anything, all you got to do is go to that beautiful book now button here on facebook.com and book a one-on-one session. Seriously, book a one-on-one session with me. I want to help you feed your budget, get speaking gigs, look at your money, whatever it is. Seriously, let me help you. Okay. Of course, I'm going to put in the comment box, the keepupmrsjones.com/1st and 15th. I'm going to put that in the comment box. If you're needing just a little bit of a jump start on what you need to do when it comes to managing your finances. Okay. It's absolutely free. It is a guide. It is just a free guide so that you can look at, what questions to ask yourself when it comes to the numbers. So I put that down in the comment box. And of course, thank you so very much, Nicole. She said, being strategic without overthinking. That's where we have to be a CEO. Overthinking is just, I don't know, that's just the employee who thinks they're going to lose their job. This is where we have to step into our CEO mode. So let me go and sign off on Instagram first. So for those of you, Mr. J. Hicks, Miami, Miss Vanessa, thank you so very much. See you bright and early tomorrow morning. What are we talking about tomorrow? Ooh, are morning routines overrated? Yes. We're going to talk about morning routines, and I'm going to tell you about my morning routine and how I did think that they were extremely overrated. So for those of you on Instagram, see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Happy budgeting. Bye. For those of you who are still here on Facebook, I appreciate you. Thank you so very much. Miss Tammy, Miss Nicole, Miss Elisa, Mr. Whitaker David, Miss Denise. You could tell I'm from the South. I got to throw a miss in there. Miss Beatrice, thank you so very much. Miss Heather, I know you're going to pop in. Thank you so very much. And Ann, I know I'll see you a little bit later. If you need me, you know where to find me. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning, and we're going to talk about morning routines. So take care. Happy budgeting. Bye.